In the heart of Jerusalem, between the walls of the old city that hold a long history, a man named David Cohen stands with burning hatred. He is a former Israeli soldier, a man who has spent most of his life with one goal: to erase traces of Islam from the land he believes belongs to his people. As a member of a special unit in the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, David is trained in military operations and reconnaissance. Since childhood, he was fed the narrative that the Al-Aqsa Mosque is an obstacle for Israel to build their third temple. In his heart, he harbored a desire to see the mosque destroyed and replaced with a symbol of the glory of his people. However, what he did not realize was that his life's journey would take him in a completely different direction. After leaving the military, David joined a radical group that had an agenda to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This group consists of people who believe that only by eliminating the holy mosque can they hasten the arrival of a new era for Israel. David was given the task of infiltrating the Muslim community in Jerusalem, pretending to be a journalist who wanted to understand more about Islam and the mosque. He thought that by understanding more deeply, he could find a weak point and help his group carry out their plan. However, when he began his mission, something he did not expect began to happen. Inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, David met an old man named Sheikh Ahmad, a cleric who had been teaching Islam to pilgrims and worshippers there for years. Without suspicion, Sheikh Ahmad greeted David with friendliness, invited him to sit down, and spoke at length about the history of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. "What do you see here, son?" Sheikh Ahmad asked in a soft voice. David, who initially only wanted to dig up information, fell silent. He saw hundreds of people praying peacefully. Children played in the courtyard of the mosque, people shared food, and there was an atmosphere he could not explain, a calmness he had never felt before. In the middle of the conversation, Sheikh Ahmad said, "If you want to recognize something, don't look at it with hatred. Look at it with an open heart." Those words shook his heart. For the first time in his life, David began to doubt his own hatred. The longer David spent time in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the more he felt something different inside himself. He began to read the Quran in Hebrew, trying to understand the teachings of Islam that he had always hated. One night, David sat alone in the mosque. He read Surah Al-Baqarah verse 256, "There is no compulsion in religion. Indeed, the right path has become clear from the wrong path." At that moment, his tears fell. He felt as if his heart had opened, and all the hatred he had harbored before began to disappear. That night, in the Al-Aqsa Mosque that he had once wanted to destroy, David Cohen recited the 2 sentences of the Shahada. After converting to Islam, David faced various challenges. His friends in the radical group considered him a traitor, his family rejected him, and even some Muslims were initially hesitant to accept him. However, David remained steadfast. He is now known as Dud, a former soldier who is now a guard of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, not with weapons, but with knowledge and prayer. He uses his past as a tool to make others aware that Islam is not a religion of hatred, but a religion of peace. From someone who once wanted to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque, he is now one of its protectors. Guidance comes in unexpected ways, even for those who were once enemies of Islam.